Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. On this video we'll be continuing with finding our percentage yield and theoretical yield. Let's get into it. So our statement reads as follows. It says we have 96.2 grams of sulfur which reacts with an unknown quantity of zinc according to the following equation, and the equation is Zn plus S reacts to form ZnS, which is zinc sulfide. Then the first question says, what mass of zinc will you need for the reaction if all the sulfur is to be used up? Okay, this is used up, right? Now, for us to solve this problem, guys, we'll look at the substance that has information, and the substance that has information is this sulfur. What does it have? It has this mass. So sulfur has the mass of 96.2 grams. So our first step will be to find the number of moles of this sulfur, and I'll do that by using the formula NS is equal to mass over molar mass. Okay, let me just fix my molar mass. So here we'll have molar mass. This S is for sulfur, so I'm looking for the number of moles of sulfur. And how am I gonna find them? We'll take this 96.2, say 96.2 divided by the molar mass of sulfur. And where do I find the molar mass of sulfur? On the periodic table, and there it is, it's 32. So I'll put 32 there, and then I'll put this on the calculator by saying 96.2 divided by 32, and the answer I get here is going to be 3.00, which I can also write as just 3. So my answer will actually be 3 moles. Okay, that's going to be my answer, 3 moles. Once I find this answer, or rather the number of moles of sulfur, I will find the number of moles of zinc by using ratios, and the ratios I will use are this substance and the sulfur that I have information about. And the information I have about sulfur now is what the one that I really need is the number of moles of it. So I will say, when I use my ratios, sulfur is to zinc, and then from here I'm gonna look at the coefficients of these two substances to make my ratio, and the coefficient of sulfur here is 1, and the coefficient of zinc is also 1. So my ratio here will be 1:1. Once I've written down this ratio, I will then go on to write the number of moles of sulfur, and the number of moles of sulfur that I found was what? 3 moles, is to the number of moles of zinc, but I do not know the number of moles of zinc, so I will write N. And then from here we see that if the ratio is 1:1, then it means that zinc will have the same number of moles as those of sulfur. So I'll say here N is equal to 3, but you can always calculate this. How would you calculate it? You'd say N times 1, and you'd get N, and then when you cross multiply, you are saying N times 1, get N, and then you are saying 3 multiplied by 1, and you would get 3. So the number of moles according to the ratio of zinc is going to be 3 moles. Once I've found these number of moles of zinc, I will now find the mass of zinc, which is what I want, because here they said on A, what mass of zinc will you need? So for me to find my mass, I'm gonna use this formula again. N is equal to small m divided by big M. Then my N will be 3 is equal to the mass of zinc is unknown divided by the molar mass of zinc. For me to get the molar mass of zinc, I go to my periodic table, and my zinc has the molar mass of 50 65. There's the molar mass of zinc, it's 65. So I'll put it down here, 65, and then from there cross multiply. When I say m times 1, I get m is equal to, and then when I say 3 times 65, what do I get? 3 multiplied by 65 will give me 195. So this is going to be the mass of zinc. It's going to be 195 grams. Okay, and that is how I get that answer. And now I'm going to move on from this problem, part A, to part B. Okay, we'll be raising this, guys, so I hope you've written it down and you understand what we've done on A. Okay, if not, please make sure you rewind the video. Let's go to B. Okay, so for part B, they are saying to us, calculate the theoretical yield for this reaction. How are we going to find the theoretical yield? We are going to basically be finding the mass of this using ratios. We can use any of these two substances, but I will want us to work with sulfur in this case because we were given information about sulfur. So let's just do that. Okay, but we can use any of the two substances. So if we use sulfur and we are trying to find the theoretical yield here, it means that we must find what? The number of moles of zinc sulfide using ratios. So because I'm using sulfur and zinc sulfide, I will say, or rather I'm using sulfur, I'll say sulfur is to zinc sulfide. And then from here, what am I going to do? We'll write down the ratios of these two substances by looking at their coefficients. And I see that the coefficient of sulfur is 1. What about the coefficient of zinc sulfide? Well, it's also 1, so I'll also put 1 there. Then from here, I write the number of moles of these two substances. But in this case, I have the number of moles of sulfur. Remember that I found them as 3 moles. Is to, do I know the number of moles of zinc sulfide? No, I do not. So I'll put n there. Then from there, cross multiply. But remember, I said if the ratio is 1:1, then it means that the number of moles of zinc sulfide will be the same as those of sulfur. Okay, but if I'm calculating, I'll say 1 times n, and I get n is equal to 3 multiplied by 1, and that will give me 3 moles. So these are the number of moles of zinc sulfide. After getting the number of moles of zinc sulfide, I'm now going to look for the mass of zinc sulfide, which is going to be my theoretical yield. Okay, how am I going to do that? I'll use the formula n is equal to small m over big M, and then I will substitute here by the value of n, which is 3, is equal to the mass, which I do not know. And then I will find the molar mass of zinc sulfide. Now if I go to my periodic table, I will see that the molar mass of zinc is 65 and that of sulfur is 32. So I'm going to add those molar masses. I'll say 65 plus 32, and I will get 3 is equal to small m over what is 65 plus 32. 65 plus 32 will give me 97. So here I will write 97. Then I'll cross multiply these together by saying m times 1, and I will get m, and then I'll say 97 multiplied by 3. So I'll see 97 multiplied by 3, and the value I get is 291. So the value I get is 291 grams. This is the mass of zinc. Okay, this is the mass of zinc, and that is the answer I was looking for, which is my theoretical yield. Okay, this is the theoretical yield I am looking for. All right, that's how we answer this question. All right, I hope you understand. Let's move on to the next one, which is C. Okay, for C, they're saying it is found that 273 grams of zinc sulfide was produced. Calculate the percentage yield. Okay, so guys, for us to find the percentage yield, we firstly obviously have to know what the formula for this percentage yield looks like. And this formula, guys, is not given on the formula sheet, meaning that we have to actually know it. It has to be inside your brain. It has to be memorized. And that formula is as follows. It's percentage yield is equal to actual yield divided by theoretical yield multiplied by 100. So this is the formula you will use to find your percentage yield. Now, in terms of my actual yield, this is the mass that I'm given, and that mass I'm given is this one. This is my actual yield. Let me just find a different color and highlight this. Okay, I don't know why this thing's highlighting the way it is, but it's fine. Okay, let me just underline instead. So my actual yield will be this value here, the one that is in the yellow box. So my actual yield is 273. What about my theoretical? Remember that I found my theoretical to be the theoretical yield I found to be 291 grams. So that's my theoretical yield. It means I'm going to substitute on this formula. And if I substitute on the formula, what I'm going to have is percentage yield is equal to actual yield, which is 275 divided by the theoretical yield, which I found to be 291, and all of this will be multiplied by 100, and then I will work out the answer. So I will see 275 divided by 291, and all of that will be multiplied by 100, and the answer I get is going to be 94.5. The answer I get is 94.5 percent. And that's how you find your percentage yield, basically. So you will use your theoretical yield, which you found on B, and your actual yield, which is given on C, this one, and you multiply those together after dividing them by 100 to get 94.5%. Okay guys, I hope you understood what we did on this video, and if you didn't, please just rewind. And yeah, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hope you found the lesson to be valuable, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.